Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Game of Thrones Sigil video. Today we're doing a crash course on House Arryn. Do remember that these videos have information from the TV show and some from the books, so if you'd like to avoid spoilers, you may want to turn the video off now. So before we meet our demise by Moondor, let's begin. House Arryn is one of the great houses of Westeros. It has ruled over the Vale of Arryn for millennia. Originally as the Kings of Mountain and Vale, and more recently as Lords Paramount of the Vale and Warden of the East under the Targaryen Kings and Baratheon Lannister Kings. Their seat is in the Eyrie, pretty sure I said that wrong, the ancestral seat of the Mountain Kings. They also have at least one other holding, their winter castle at the Gates of the Moon, which was once their main seat. Both of these fortifications sit astride the Giant's Lance, the tallest mountain in the Vale. The Gates of the Moon at its foot, and the Eyrie at the top. House Arryn's sigil is a white crescent moon and falcon on a blue field. Their motto is "As high as honor." Lord Jasper Arryn, the former head of the family. Lord of the Eyrie, Lord Paramount of the Vale, and the Warden of the East. His wife's identity is unknown. Lord Jon Arryn, the eldest son and heir. Lord of the Eyrie, Lord Paramount of the Vale, Warden of the East, and Hand of the King to Robert Baratheon. Poisoned with the tears of Lees. Lees? Fuck, I don't remember. Under mysterious circumstances, just after discovering that the children of Queen Consort Cersei Lannister were secretly not the biological children of Robert. Lady Jane Royce, Jon's first wife, died in childbirth. Their daughter was stillborn. Lady Rowan Arryn, Jon's second wife and his cousin, died of a winter chill, childless. Lady Liza of House Tully, Jon's third wife and his widow, former Lady Regent of the Eyrie and Lady Regent of the Vale until her son came of age. She is considered mentally unstable by Tyrion Lannister. She remarried to Peter Baelish, a childhood friend. She was characterized by her capacity for jealousy. Her jealousy of her sister Catelyn led Lysa to being withdrawn, lonely, cold, apathetic, malignantly willful, and subjective to fits of anger that were often unjustified, to the extent that she saw enemies in anyone who disagreed with her. She was killed by Peter Baelish via Moondor. Lord Robin Arryn, Jon's only child, also called Sweet Robin, Lord of the Eyrie, Defender of the Vale, and Warden of the East. A sickly boy. His name in the book series is Robert Arryn. It was changed for the show to avoid confusion with Robert Baratheon and Robb Stark. Robin begins sparring lessons, but due to his frail condition and sheltered childhood, his attempts and swordsmanship are pitiful for a boy his age. He then begins practicing archery, though he seems to have as much success with a bow as he does with a sword. For the bulk of his life, he was shamelessly spoiled by his delusional, paranoid mother, and this resulted in him possessing a few of the traits expected of the heir to a powerful noble house. Sir Ronald Arryn, Jon's brother, Keeper of the Gates of the Moon. He died of a bad belly. Sir Albert Arryn, Ronald's son. He was killed on the orders of the Mad King, heir to the Vale at the time of his death. Alice Arryn, sister to Jon and Ronald, married Sir Ellis Waynwood. Together they had 8 daughters and 1 son. According to legend, the house was founded by Sir Ardys Arryn, the Winged Knight. He is said to have flown atop a giant falcon, landing on the topmost mountain of the Vale, and defeated the Griffin King, the last of the first men Mountain Kings. Then he took the Eyrie and became the first king of the Mountain and Vale. His descendants have ruled over the Vale ever since. The Eyrie has never fallen to invaders. During the War of Conquest, House Arryn repulsed a Targaryen invasion at Gulltown with Braavosi aid, but ultimately bent the knee peacefully as they realized they could not fend off the Targaryens forever. By submitting peacefully instead of being conquered, they were allowed to continue to rule as Lords Paramount of the Vale and Wardens of the East in the name of the Iron Throne. The Eyrie is considered impregnable and defends House Arryn from the violent hill tribes of the Mountains of the Moon. After Robert Baratheon's wife, Lyanna Stark, was kidnapped by the Mad King, Lord Jon Arryn rebelled, calling his banners to war. Houses Stark and Baratheon followed suit, forging alliances with House Tully through marriage, Eddard marrying Catelyn Tully, and the then elderly Jon Arryn married the young Lady Lysa Tully. After Robert became king, he appointed Jon as his hand. Jon served the realm well for many years and died immediately prior to the events of the series, sparking King Robert's search for a replacement. Eddard accepts the position and begins an investigation into Jon's death, learning he may have been poisoned. Catelyn Stark blamed the 2 assassination attempts of her son Brandon on Tyrion Lannister and has him arrested. She takes him to the Eyrie, where Lysa is attempting to isolate Robin from the rest of the kingdom and use her role as regent to have the Vale Lords protect him. After Eddard is arrested for treason, Catelyn implores her sister to lend her armies to march on King's Landing. Lysa refuses and Catelyn leaves the Eyrie. Tywin Lannister sends Peter Baelish to marry Lysa so that the Iron Throne can acquire the support of the Vale. After admitting her role in the death of her husband, Lady Lysa hastily marries her childhood friend Peter. Later, she witnesses him kissing her niece, Sansa Stark, and becomes mad with jealousy. She summons Sansa to the High Hall of the Arryns, threatening to push her through the moon door before Peter briefly manages to calm Lysa down, saying he only ever loved one woman. To Lysa's horror, he utters, "Your sister," and shoves Lysa out of the moon door to her death. When her death was investigated, Peter and Sansa convinced the lords that Lysa had committed suicide by jumping through the moon door, and Peter becomes Lord Protector of the Vale until Robin comes of age. And that's going to be it for House Arryn. There's only one Game of Thrones Sigil video left. Thank you all for watching. If you've learned something new or just enjoyed the crash course, give this video a like. Maybe subscribe so you know when there's more. Possibly share it with your friends. Or do none of these things. It's up to you, free will, and all that jazz. At any rate, I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay strange.